Jade, hello, Jade. I've got a couple of recruits that I want to try out. I'm a bit concerned that that they might not work out in real estate, but I've heard that if they go through PRET, you give them a good solid grounding to find out if they're going to be any good. Is that true?
Well, what we do, Richard, we make it very practical so they know exactly what to expect. The first thing they do is they learn about prospecting. They do a prospecting plan that they can use on the job. Then they learn to critique an existing appraisal and learn how to do the process and appraise a property themselves. They go through from that to ad writing. They do a listing presentation, they listing form, contract negotiations, they do a contract, they learn to qualify buyers. That's on day one. On day two they do property management with practical aspects like showing property, evaluating tenants, doing up a lease. They do risk management, they do law, and on Wednesday, the third day, they do a commercial industrial version of what they've learnt on the first 2 days, which reinforces the knowledge for them.
Great. Now, you were recommended to us. We have asked around and we found that a lot of people recommend you because you provide such a personal service. How many people do you have in your classes? Because I know a couple of organisations, they sort of seem to be packed to the rafters.
We cap our classes, Richard, at 15. We normally don't have the full 15 because we run our course every week. So we have a college on the south side at Oxley and a college on the north side at Chermside, and we rotate our classes from Oxley to Chermside. And because they're on every single week, obviously you don't get that backlog of students. And we actually only have 15 computers to make sure that we don't have more than 15 students.
Great. So they can get individual attention almost?
Yes, they can. What happens is the teacher teaches them and they all go through and they're assessed as they go. And if the teacher recognises that someone's having trouble, they'll spend a little bit extra time with that student. And at the end of the day, when the other students have gone, if a student needs a bit of extra help, the teacher's there to help them for that. And if they find they're really struggling, they can resit that day.
Yeah, because that's important, because I always worry that they go to some organisations and then they come to me. This happened last year, and they said, oh, we didn't learn much at all because they were all crammed in, and it was almost like just churning through like a factory. So I can be confident that you can do as much as you can to do. What happens if they need a bit of top-up training?
Well, they can come back free of charge and resit in the class as many times as they feel that they need to. We also have some skills courses each month that they can do, and we also send out, if they want to, they can subscribe to our emails, which are free, and we send out updates to them and helpful tips.
So what you're saying is I don't really have to worry about keeping them up to date and waiting for the RER journal to come through that could be a month late. They could actually get up to date through your...
Yes, we keep them up to date. One of our teachers is actually a solicitor, and he gives hands-on lectures about changes to the law and helps make sure that we're up to date and audits our assessment to make sure all our paperwork is completely up to date.
Right. Now, a number of people that have been through you have told me it's very practical. Because you cover business brokers, you cover commercial, industrial, and you also do proper appraisal techniques. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
Great.
Yeah, it's a very practically oriented class with all the paperwork done on the computer on the ADL package that they'll probably use in their workplace.
Right. And what if you get somebody who's absolutely hopeless?
Well, they'll take a little bit longer, but that's okay because the teachers are very patient and friendly and they don't mind.
So there's no penalty?
No, there's no penalty for taking longer.
I'm not going to get told off to say, you sent me somebody.
No, not at all. And we even have some classes to help our students who are transferring from the Mandarin language to the English language. Yes, one of our teachers, Paul, he takes classes where they read and write in English, but he actually speaks the class in Mandarin, and the students can do their role plays in Mandarin and ask Paul to interpret English words that they don't understand.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Now, do they come, if it's on computer, do they have actually any resource material that they can come away with?
Yes, they can ask us to have all their assessment emailed to them.
Oh, right, so they can flick back during their working careers and say, oh, because they're not going to remember everything, are they? But
no.
They can use that as a resource.
Yeah, that's right. And the most important resource, I think, is the prospecting plan, because that's gets you started in real estate.
Absolutely, yeah. One of the things that one person in our network was very impressed about you is your organisation, that you teach them how to be efficient and almost be their own bosses. You talk about time management, you make sure they're compliant, you talk about risk management. So is this right? Is this what you cover?
Yeah, that's right, Richard. We do a fair bit on risk management, and we particularly do it in relation to property management, because as you're probably aware, property management is an area of real estate which there's the most litigation. So we do talk about strategies and policies. The students can also have a copy of the policies and procedures manual we have, which is a hypothetical agency called Ace Realty, which the students work from as though that they're actually working for Ace Realty. They can have a copy of that policies and procedures manual if there's something that they want to get out of that.
Oh, that's great, because I know one of the bosses in our network said his jaw dropped when this lady was with your course, property manager, and he's just amazed at all the information she had. How dear are you?
Our courses are $6.90, which is in the ballpark of where most people are.
Yes. Well, that's great. So what do people do if they enrol, bring you up?
Yes, they can go on our website www.pret.com.au, pret.com.au, or they can phone us on 07 3878 8513.
Great.